Type me in the chat box. If you don't know, type DNK. That's perfectly fine. If you don't know the difference between a search engine and a browser, it's perfectly fine. What is the difference? Type me in the chat box. If you don't know, if you know, it's okay. If you don't know, all right. So this, those of you who type don't know, I always give demo, right? So you know this. So let me explain it to all of you. Let's go back to Google and share my screen. So if you know this platform is what version of Chrome. So I'm using Chrome browser. In Chrome browser, I'm also using Google and search engine. Right? So Chrome is a
তুমি একটা দাও না আমাকে মোবাইল চালু করি দেরি হচ্ছে না
through which you do browsing. Right? There are multiple types of browsers. One is Chrome, of course, the leading one, and then you have Edge, Microsoft Edge. Right? That is another one, and there are similarly many other search browsers. Right? So when you type browsers. And then do a search, you will find all of this. This is Firefox. This is a free browser by a group of people who wanted to give it for free. So this was one of the initial browsers. Some of us still use because of free. And then you have Google Chrome, which is Google's product. Then you have Microsoft Edge, which is Microsoft's product. Then you have Opera, which is another software. And then you have Safari, which is specifically in Apple devices, right? Then you have this Vivaldi, this is another one. Then you have Brave, you have Internet Explorer, which is the earlier version of Edge. Now most of us are using Edge. So Internet Explorer is part of Microsoft's ecosystem. And then you have UC browser, and then you have 40 more browsers. There are more than 100 different types of browsers, as you already said. Mediums of browsers where you can ask questions. It has also a chat function. It has also a browsing function. It has also a search engine functionality. All right. Now, what is the search engine functionality? So when you go to Google here, when you type the information.
Hi, hello. Comment karo. নতুন বন্ধু তাহলে চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকো
Some of you are aware of this. Or if you do not know what is AI mode, type DNK in the chat box. It's okay if you don't know, right?
লাইক করো একটু লাইক করো
Launched by Google very recently in India. Of course, it was there in other countries.
একটু লাইক করো
In India, they recently launched it. Alright, so some of you don't know. Alright, so AI mode is
নতুন বন্ধু তাহলে চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকো আমার ভিডিওগুলো দেখো ভালো লাগলে লাইক কমেন্ট শেয়ার করো
hypertension. Okay. Hypertension is the keyword. You see what happened? You see the AI over. It just functions like ChatGPT, right? It is, in fact, Google's services are much more advanced, but most of us don't know how to use it. If you look at summary,
এখন
we can give the content in references.
12 জন
So if you are somebody who is just starting off your journey as a medical writer, you know that every content we write must have references, right? If you look at this, you see this part here.
একটু লাইক করো
So when you write this content, is the reference. And when you write this content, you have this.
ও বালা এসেছিল তো আজকে দুপুরে
When you click on this, it shows the reference here.
আসলে ভালো তো
So
কমেডি
Google's
করে না
AI overview, what basically it does, initially,
করে
you
দিয়েছি।
remember the initial Google searches, wherever you used to search, people used to show an information here, right? Few lakh results,
10 মিনিট করে দেবো এটা।
0.07 seconds, 0.006 seconds. How many people remember that search? That negative show, right? Nowadays it doesn't show the data. Why? Because it started giving us the AI overview. And with AI overview, you really don't care how
Comment
many
করো।
pages of data Google is searching. All you are interested in how authentic or
Love.
credible or crisp that information is. So basically why all of this started, because all of you are interested, all of us are interested in information that is easy to access, easy to read,
Double
and
tap
easy to
করো,
consume.
double tap।
We don't want to read paragraphs and paragraphs of pages. Earlier, how Google used to function, search for keyword, and then get a lot of information, and then keep scrolling and keep opening each page, and then keep
যা
reading the
ক্লিক করছ
But now with AI overview, you don't really need to do that. So Google combines
Comment
all
করো।
the top ranking pages, right, into an overview, a summary, and gives you the information. So that is what Google AI overview is. Let me know if you found that interesting. Right? This is called as AI mode, and it is part of Google's own ecosystem. And Google also has a AI chat bot similar to ChatGPT, right, which is called as Gemini. So Gemini is integrated within Google Chrome and Google's search console, right? If you find this interesting, type I in the chat box, all right? And then you have different other modes. So you can type the information, you can speak, you can search by voice. My daughter, who's 11 years old, she never types information because she's not, sometimes she is confident about spelling and sometimes she's not. So she just uses the search mode. She speaks, Google gives the information. And then you also have information called search by image. Now some of you may not be using this information. I mean, if you don't know how to use search by image, then we yes or no in the chat box. I mean, if you do not use search by image feature, never use. Alright, so search by image is a beautiful feature. You can actually reverse search an image. If somebody has used an image, you can upload that and then Google will search and upload and give you all the results related to that image. So it's called as reverse search image. And just like we are adding text, we can also add image and search that, right? Especially in medical writing, it is an important feature because sometimes some of my freelancers or medical writers whom I work with, they might use, copyrighted images. So Google search definitely helps us to know where this particular image was taken from, right? And then you have the AI mode I already explained that, all right? So having understood the difference between a browser and a search engine, let's go ahead and continue the rest of our session. So if you don't know, just type TLK in the chat box. TLK is don't know, all right? Perfect, so let's continue. So let's start with some fundamentals of SEO, right? SEO is a vast topic, as I said. Now, completing SEO in this 1 hour's time will not be possible. So what I have thought is let's cover the overview first, maybe fundamentals and basics first today. Maybe we'll have another detailed session sometime later on. And when I say detailed, as I said, it takes about a week's or 2 weeks time or a 10 days time. So it will not be possible to cover everything, but I'll try to cover just some of the basics in this session today.
নাচ করে না ও ফোন ধরতে হবে কেন কালকে জিসিবি নামবে না মেয়েকে স্কুলে দিয়ে তবে ওখানে যাবে ঠিক আছে রানিং থাক ঠিক আছে आगे बहुत से हमारे नहीं बहुत लगे ना
Let's go and search for attention. I'll share my screen one more time again. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. Alright, so I search for the word just hypertension. I have not searched for anything else, only the word hypertension, right? And when I search for hypertension, I know high blood pressure is known as hypertension, right? And it gave me for hypertension. Now imagine I search for high blood pressure, right? Both are same, right? How many of you know both are same? I search for high blood pressure. Now what happened? You saw the results are little different. How many of you see the results are different? Like me in the chat box. We search for the same thing, right? But though the keywords were different, the results are also different. Yes or no? So what has happened here? Right? When you are getting this AI summary, for example, you see the first one comes as what? Mayo Clinic, right? In the previous one, you see the first one was Mayo Clinic. What they did, right? And others one makes a high blood pressure and hypertension. WHO is hypertension, so it is showing up, right? And then when I go to high blood pressure, you see what is happening. Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and then heart. Where is WHO? WHO is gone from this search, right? Understood this? What is happening here? So when I change the keywords, the search results are different. Yes or no? Agree with me on this? Why is this happening? This is happening because the search, the websites are not optimized accordingly. Now, when I say not optimized, you see this website, Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic results were shown in both the pages, right? When I search for hypertension, I saw Mayo Clinic. When I search for high blood pressure, I saw Mayo Clinic. And Cleveland Clinic also same thing, right? High blood pressure and hypertension. For both it showed. But you see, here it is showing symptoms and causes, and here it is showing Cleveland Clinic, right? If I come back to the previous one, again it is showing symptoms and causes, again it is showing Cleveland Clinic. So what Cleveland Clinic and what Mayo Clinic are doing different than what these other guys are doing different. Now here in this case, if you see, WHO's result comes in the third part, right? So first, second, and third is WHO's result. But when I'm searching for high blood pressure, the WHO's result is gone from the third rank, and it has completely gone from the entire first page. It doesn't show up, right? Why? Because the WHO's page is not optimized for both the keywords. Now, what I'm searching on Google, whatever keywords I'm using, the words that I'm using, they are called as keywords that are used for searching content. And the results that I get when I search for any keyword is called as search engines results page. It is called as SERP. Okay? SERP means search engine results page. And you'll find results of different keywords in different browsers, in different search engines, all different. Right? If I search the same keyword high blood pressure on Bing, the results will be different. If I search the same high blood pressure on Yahoo, it will be different. Why? Because the optimization of all these keywords, for all these browsers, for all these search engines are done differently, and some of us are not able to focus that much and we are not able to optimize our websites. What is optimization means? All of that we'll discuss later on. But just for your understanding, optimization means making the website easy to navigate by the search engines. All these search engines have something called as crawlers or search bots. Okay? Whenever I'm typing some information, the crawlers connect to the index of the website, and then they're able to bring the results for us, right? These crawlers go to each of the websites and then index contains all the keywords that are mentioned on the websites. So if the website is not readable, the crawlers will not index the website. What do you mean by the website being not readable? When the website has too many images, right, and too many videos, and the description of the images and videos are not made, then the websites are not readable. Why? Because all these crawlers, all these search engines, all these search bots, they can read only text content. They can't read images, they can't read videos, they can't read any other media files. They can read only text. Okay. So was this clear? Let me know yes, no in the chat box. Right? So you understood about the keyword and how the synonyms of the keywords needs to be optimized on the websites. And if we don't optimize, then we don't rank on the website. So see this is what Mayock has done. Mayock is ranking for both the keywords easily because they have optimized their search engine, the search results for both these keywords, hypertension and blood pressure, high blood pressure. Now, as medical writers, whenever you write content, you must use the synonyms. Synonyms of the most commonly search results, search keywords, right? When you use such keywords, then what happens? Your chances of ranking on search engines like Google is very, very high. Okay. Perfect. So let's come back to our screen. So we understood about a little bit about what is SEO, right? And then we also understood about why it is important, why the keywords are very, very important. So in the keywords, there are a few things again we need to understand, right? So when I did this particular search on Google, for example, for high blood pressure, I got certain results. Now this particular result is called as SERP, Search Engine Results Page, right? And this is different for different websites or search sites, right? Alright, guys, can you give me just 1 minute? I have this urgent call coming in. Can I take that call? Like, yes, if I can. So I'll just be back in about a minute's time, if it is okay. Alright. Normally, I don't take calls during the session, but this is going to be a little urgent one, so I will take it. Just give me 1 moment. I'll be back. Meantime, if you have any questions, keep putting in the chat box and I'll take up those questions soon after I'm back. Okay.
কোথায় যাচ্ছ?
Invisible, please let me know. The Google one, type G, it is visible, or main search engine results page, right? And what the search engine results page normally contains, it contains different things, right? For example, whenever I am typing the content, you see this? I am now typing the content. Hi, and then I type B, L, double O, right? So you see what is happening? You are getting all these results. These are called as contextual search. Whenever I am typing content, Google gives me certain results. These results are based on what people are searching right now on different parts of India, right? Why India? Because my browser is right now logged in Bangalore, Karnataka, and it shows Bangalore's location for me. So by default, it will show me all the searches that are happening close to me or if definitely in India, right? Blood pressure, right? So these are called as contextual searches, right? And as a user, you can also report these inappropriate product predictions. So sometimes what happens whenever we are searching these keywords, Google may show some unwanted results which are not relevant to our search. If you find such keywords which are not relevant to what you have searched, then you can report those inappropriate predictions by clicking on this button here. Okay. How many of you have actually reported such keywords ever anytime? Have you ever reported a yes or no in the chat box? I did not know or DNK in the chat box if you did not know this. Right, perfect. If you did not know, then this may be something interesting. So as healthcare professionals, whenever you search for content, right, you might get certain results. And if those results are irrelevant, right, then please go and report those inappropriate predictions. When you click on this, it will show me which are those keywords that are not relevant to what I'm searching right now. And when you keep reporting such keywords, then Google will stop ranking such keywords on Google. And what you are doing by doing this, helping the Google search a better one, right? Google collectively improves the search results and its services by taking feedback collectively from billions of users across the globe. So if you did not know this so far, now that you know it, in future, suppose you find such results, please give feedback. And when you give feedback, you're actually helping Google to improve the search content or the information that it is providing on Google search, right? Alright, so I hope that was a new information for some of you. Alright, perfect. So let's come back again to the SERP. We'll not report anything because everything is relevant to high blood pressure now. So that was the first thing that we understood. The second one was search results, SERP, right? Search results page, right? So what are those search results page? All this information that you are getting here is part of the SERP. And if you come down a little bit here, you see this? This is also part of the contextual search, right? And this also gives you a lot of ideas. So if you are somebody who is searching for content for writing a blog, if you come here and on the top of Google here, you will know what people are searching for. And based on that, you can define your topics and subtopics of your article, right? Because most of us, whenever we write content for blogs or for general users, we have to meet this criteria. If we don't meet this criteria, if you're not writing for people who are, searching for content, then the whole point of writing articles is not met, right? Unless people read this article, unless they give feedback, then the whole point of writing blogs will not happen. So as blogger, as writers, you also need to encourage people to give feedback or put their comments. That way you are completing the whole cycle. What is the whole cycle? To search the content, to read or consume the content, and to like the content, to share feedbacks about the content, okay? So this is a search engine, a search query that I did for a general keyword like high blood pressure. In the high blood pressure or in the medical type of content, you will not get the e-commerce type of data. You are not getting any type of data for sale or service. But if you search for, let's say, Lenovo, I use Lenovo laptop, so I always keep giving example of Lenovo. So when I search for Lenovo, you see what is happening here? There is a sponsored button and there is a sponsored button. What does the sponsored means? It means simply that Lenovo company has paid Google to show these results whenever somebody is reading that information or searching that information. for all of us, right? So it simply means that these are all paid results. Now, would you believe a paid result or not? Tell me yes or no in the chat box. Should you believe a paid result? Yes or no in the chat box. When would you believe a paid result? Whenever you trust the outreach, right? We cannot say no. We can believe the results, but we should always know the person who's behind this, right? Now, I know Lenovo as a company. I'm a Lenovo fan or user since many, many years. Ever since I started my second laptop, first laptop was from HP. Second was briefly from Dell when I got in my office. And the third, whatever I purchased from my own use, personal use, I started using Lenovo. Quality-wise, service-wise, it's a very good company, right? So I trust that company. Whenever I see this company, company's advertisements, naturally I go and trust it. Now another, catch. There are many websites which are fake websites, so they might use Lenovo's logo. They might advertise their products as well in the name of Lenovo. So we must be able to know what is the website link for Lenovo. I know it is Lenovo.com. Now, if it is something else, then I know that it may be a fake advertisement or it is definitely not something that I'm going to trust. So the first result for most of the search keywords is the sponsored one. Okay? And sponsored ones are of two types. Number one is this normal search result, and the second one is from the e-commerce site. Now, there are many, many sites, right, where sale of the products happens. So, for example, you see this is happening from Lenovo's website. This is also from Lenovo's website. All of this is from Lenovo's website. But there can be something from, let's say, Amazon's website or Flipkart's website as well. So they are coming from all these different websites. Nowadays, Lenovo, whenever you search for Lenovo, you can find most of the data coming from their own website because they are promoting more and more sales directly from their website. Now, if you come down a little bit here, it will also show the third category, which is the e-commerce data. Now, all of this is from different e-commerce sites. You see this Amazon, Flipkart, Lenovo, and Lenovo. This is the e-commerce data or the shop data. So Lenovo, this company also has shops on different platforms. So it is coming from there. The third type is again, the range. So you see this popular. Where is this popular coming from? From the reviews or the trust people have given to these products. So the popular means reviews based, and the third category is this price based. So if you come a little bit down, it also shows you the price range. Why? Because many people they also search by, let's say, Lenovo laptop less than 20,000 or Lenovo laptop less than 45,000. How many of you search like this on Google or any other search engine? Type me in the chat box if you do that, right? So whenever we search this type of content, Google knows that people are searching based on certain context, right? And when we do that, then Google also starts ranking those pages based on that context. Again, you see this is the price range. So there are people who will prefer to have laptops over 70,000, but then there are people like us, for example, we want to have laptop with 22 to 45,000 nights, right? And then you have this part here. People also ask for. Now, people are asking these questions on different platforms. They might be asking on Facebook or Google or different other places, right? When you click on this, you might get information. So where is this coming from, right? And then when you click on this, again, it will show up where is this coming from. Click on this and again, it will take you to the website from where it is taking that information. So this one, see this link there, it is taking from that website. This one, it is taking from Clay. It's another website which is taking from there. Right? You see this? Again, for every search data which people are asking, Google has started giving the AI overview, which is a very good start. But then it is also giving you the source from where it is taking that content. For example, see this one. It has compiled the information from different sources. For the same answer, Google has used all these 4 different websites, 5 different websites to provide the information. So what does it mean? It means that when you start writing content on different platforms, very high chance you'll start ranking all of this content on the website now, right? So this is again a very good idea, right? So and this also gives you what people ask for. Will also give you an idea of what type of content or what type of information you should be putting in your blog. Okay. So I'm giving the example of but it applies to every single keyword that we search on Google or all these platforms. Okay. Now again, If you come a little bit down, there is this content from all these websites, Facebook, and again you see there is something called a sponsored. Now sponsored is coming in three places, right? First two places, and then down here one more place. Now why is this coming in three different places? Because of the bidding price. Now all these sponsored results are based on bidding price. Lenovo will say, okay, fine. Whenever somebody searches for Lenovo, show them all these 10 advertisements that I'm giving to you, Google, and I'll be able to pay you, let's say, between 40 rupees to, let's say, 70 rupees. So what Google does, based on if somebody else is also ranking, let's say Flipkart or Amazon, they are also bidding for the same keyword. Then based on whoever pays highest, Google will show the first results based on the highest bidder, and the person who is bidding for the least will be shown in this particular section. Alright? So these are called as sponsored results. Apart from that, you'll also get information from Quora, which is again a very good site where people ask questions and a lot of people reply to those questions. So if you are a medical writer looking for ideas, please use these sections. It will also ask for, it will also search for, and then Quora, right? And then social media, like for example YouTube, a lot of comments people give. There also you can ask, search for, and then this contextual search. And always try to improve the quality of Google search by reporting inappropriate predictions. Now you see this from this word. You see it also started showing me the competitive brands, Asus, Dell, Lenovo, and Acer. And all these are competitors of Lenovo, so it also started showing their results. Now why is this happening? Because again, as I said, everything depends on the bidding, right? Bidding price. And also these are contextual searches depend on how qualitative content is. Alright, so our topic. So now if you understood SEO now, let me in the chat box if you understood. If you
বন্ধু কমেন্ট করো তোমার দাদা ভাই নামাজ পড়তে গেছে নামাজ পড়ে আসবে
all of you understood, right? Hopefully. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Alright. So we understood about what is SEO, right? And then there are a few basic terms that I want to explain it to you, right? Number one is keywords. So what is keyword? Keyword is basically a word, right, that we enter into the search engine, which then brings us the results. And these results are coming from the content that we are publishing on the different platforms, right? So these are called as keywords. And keywords can be defined based on what you want to show in the results, right? So let's say, for example, I search for Windows website has been optimized based on this keyword, right? How many times it is appearing, where it is appearing, what is the section of the site it is appearing, all of that is important. So when we add keywords to our data, to the blog, to the website, it should be able to be searchable, right? Whenever it is searchable, then it starts showing up on the search results. Now, if people click and come back and read, then give the feedback, then Google or any search engine feels that that keyword is very important one, or it is used by many people, many users, then start adding value to the searches, right? So it will start showing more of that website to many people who then use the same keyword to search the content. Then we understood about search result page that we explained. Then there are pillars of SEO, right? So these are called as the 4 pillars of SEO. I'll explain each of them. If you don't know it perfectly, fine, don't worry about that. The first one is called as on-page SEO, right? There are about 12 pillars, they say, in SEO, and they are all complex pillars of SEO, but then that is beyond the scope of this very simple class. I'm not going to explain that. But then 4 are most important ones, right? What are 4? Number 1 is on-page SEO. The second one is off-page SEO. The third is simple SEO, and the fourth one is technical SEO, right? Only if you know all 4, type all 4 in the chat box, or type 1 if you know only 1, type 2 if you know only 2, 3, 4, whatever you know. Let me know what is the level of knowledge with respect to these keywords. Some of you know all, some of you know 2, all right. Some of you know 2, that's okay. 2, Only one answer I got. What about the others? DNK? If it is DNK, it's okay, no problem. Okay, so but I want responses so that I can share my, DNK 1, 2, all right, 1, 2, DNK, it's okay, all right. So let me explain from very basic one, right? Very, very basic one. What is on-page SEO? So on-page SEO is what basically, whatever we do on our website, whatever we do on our blog, whatever will we do on our page. For all of us who are on LinkedIn, for you, on-page SEO means on your profile. Whatever you are doing on the profile page of yours, that is your on-page SEO. For some of you who have a website, your on-page SEO means whatever you are doing on your website, that is your website's on-page SEO. For some of you who use only Instagram or Facebook, on-page SEO means your profile page content. If you're using multiple sites, for example, LinkedIn, and then YouTube, and Instagram, and Facebook, and also your website, whatever you do on all of these pages is your on-page SEO, right? So what does it mean? So if you are going to improve your on-page SEO, that means you have to improve a lot of things, right? What are those lot of things? Number one is your content. Always high quality, accurate keywords, and optimized content, right? Whenever we write content, it should, answer the pain points of our search users, right? Unless those users are getting value from our content, they're not going to read that content, right? So whatever we try has to be of high quality, accurate, credible, and of course, keywords optimized. I showed the example of some keywords. If you're writing for hypertension, you also need to put high blood pressure, and maybe if there are more keywords, you can also use that in the blog. When you're doing that, then your content becomes high quality, accurate, and also keyword optimized. Next one is credible. It has to be credible. If, let's say, I am just, let's say, 8th pass, okay, or 9th pass, and if I'm writing, let's say, about hypertension or high blood pressure, am I a credible person? Type yes or no in the chat box. Alright. Most of you say no, right? Now, similarly, if I'm a doctor, let's say a general physician, and if I'm writing about, let's say, cardiology, am I a credible person? Yes or no in the chat box. Or if I'm a general physician and I'm writing about a cardiology surgery, am I a credible person? Yes or no? I'm saying I'm a general physician, alright? Yeah. Okay, some say it's not very much, some say it's medical student, some say if the source is credible. Yes, perfect, if the source is credible. So if I'm a general physician and if I'm writing about a cardiology surgery, right? Because I am not a cardiologist, so naturally I cannot write something on cardiology. But if I'm quoting the relevant credible sources in my article, then that content becomes credible, right? So what does it mean for medical writers? So all of you are medical writers. So what does it mean for you as a medical writer? It means that if you are writing a content which is beyond your curriculum, syllabus, expertise, or base qualification, please mention your references in the content. Credible sources of references in your content. Let me give an example. I come from a pharmacy background, right? From pharmacy related, definitely most of us will say that, okay, he knows everything. Obviously, I don't know anything about pharmacy. I studied about 16, 17 subjects in my master's, and I'm definitely not an expert in all the subjects, and most of us will definitely not be experts in all the subjects. Though we study 16, 17 subjects or 12 subjects, we don't like all the subjects, right? Definitely we like some of the subjects, and definitely we are maybe experts to some extent in some of the subjects, right? So whenever we write content, if we put the credible sources of information in our item, then that information becomes credible. And as medical writers, whenever you are writing content, you will not be always writing content based on your qualification, based on your expertise, based on your therapy knowledge. You will also be writing content based on different areas, different therapy areas. And whenever you are doing that, please do not put your opinion, number one, in that article, number one. Number two, please always put cited sources. But whenever we are writing for medical writing content, medical writing related content, or different kind of audience, then we must go to different sources. Okay. So first one is what? High quality content, accurate content, readable content, and it must be optimized for all the different keywords that we are using in the blog. If it is not optimized, again, just as the example I showed you between the hypertension and high blood pressure, some of the sites will rank and some of the sites will not rank. If I'm not using the right keyword, my site will never rank on the search result. So citing is absolutely important. The next one is what? Title tag. So we must have a title tag in our website. So whenever we go back to the search one more time, let me go back to the different search here. And let's say when I'm doing the search, let's say I'm searching again for hypertension, right? And when you see this particular keyword, whenever you search see a result data, there are a few things we need to remember. Number one is this particular website. You see this one here. So there is this website which is coming up, right? And in this website, if you see there are two parts. What are those two parts? The first one is the main website. You see this mayoclinic.org. That's the main website. Then you see this one SYC20373410 some numbers. So this is the page on which this content is displayed, right? So this is number one. Then the title of the website. Then you have the logo of the website. And next important part is, you see this one here, this part here. This is called as the title of the blog. If I go to this website, this will be the title. Title tag. This is called as title tag. And this part is called as the meta tag. You see this? Meta tag. And these are the keywords which are relevant to hypertension. Understood? So your logo, the website, the link, the sublink of the website. Then you have the title tag, you have meta tag, and the keywords. Understood this? Type U if you understood this. All of you understood this part? This is also important. So, and whenever you write content, and whenever it is displayed on the different search results, right? If you have not optimized your site for title, and meta tag, and keywords, this will not show up clearly in the search results. And also, if you don't put title, meta tag, and also the keywords, the search results will not perform well. Okay? So ranking is defined by how much you have spent or how much time and energy you have spent in defining the title, customizing the meta tag, and also the title, also the keywords. Now, why is this meta tag important? Right? So if you look at this particular content here, which is meta tag, this part is called as meta tag, right? Whenever I am looking at the description, right, it is also called as description or meta description. Whenever I am looking at this, it helps me to whether should I click on the website and go and read further or not. It's like a snippet of the entire website. And snippet is absolutely important, right? If I have put a lot of time and effort in customizing the meta description, then very high chance that the user will read the title and the meta description, and the user will come back and click on the website. Now, if you don't do this, very high chance the website, even if it is ranking, people will not go and click on that. Okay? So meta tag is what? Meta description or meta tag. It is the snippet or the short summary of the entire page that generates curiosity in the minds of the readers, and based on that curiosity, they'll click on the link and come to the website. Now, when I come to the website, you see this, and I'm able to see the title, the same title here, okay? High blood pressure for hypertension. It is the same title, right? But then you see that description, whatever I read here, right? If you have high blood pressure, that content is not seen here. So it is hidden in the website, right? The meta descriptions are not always to be shown on the website. They are the hidden snippet or the summaries which are available only for the search results, okay? So you have title, you have meta description, which are two important aspects of one page of the content. So whatever we are understanding right now is one page of optimization. Now if I come to this page, now let's say I like the title, I like the content. Now if I come to this website,
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, 1 ঘন্টা করে বন্ধ করে দেবো,
Which is
তো
not
ফোন করবো।
interesting. Will I stay on this page? Yes or no in the chat room. No, right? If I don't find the content interesting, I'll not stay in the page. Now that you have generated curiosity in the mind of the reader, now it is your responsibility to ensure that the reader stays on this page. That means whatever question the reader had asked, whatever summary you have provided in the snippet or meta description, you must answer everything here in this page. And to make your content interesting, there are a few things we can do. Number one, you need to have the title, definitely yes. You need to have the summary, that is also definitely there. You can put a video, you can put some images, you can put the content in bullet points. You can hyperlink some of the content, because let's say I'm reading this content and I want to read more about one of the topics. I can go and click on this, and then you can also put this advertisements. You can also provide more to the email, right? So you are making the website interactive. By putting all these different elements, you're not just retaining the curiosity levels of the visitors, you're also making them stay connected to your website and learn more through you or your different ways of teaching. For example, here by subscribing, they'll get an email. Here by taking an appointment, they can do a one-to-one discussion with you. Here by clicking the video link, they might read and learn more from the video itself. So next part is not just write content, but content in right format, in different formats, makes the website or the blog or the page interesting, right? So how we as a medical writer we can do? So if you are on LinkedIn, if somebody comes to your profile page, you need to put some media, right? Videos, images, certifications, right? All of this when you add, your page becomes more interesting. And when you're using all these different keywords, it just shows up on different search result pages. Okay? Alright, so let's come back to our slides. So we are still on the first pillar, and that is on page SEO. So we understood about title tag and meta tag. The next one is called as H tag. How many of you know about H tag? It is called as heading tags, right? So heading tags means what? The headings and all the subheadings that we are using in the article. Now if you come back here, these are all H tags. This is heading 1, this is heading 1, heading 1, heading 1, heading 1, and heading 1. These are all heading 1s. When I go to, let's say, symptoms, this is heading 1. If there is heading 2, they'll also make that as heading 2, right? Or heading 3. These are called as H tags, heading tags. And heading tags have to be again sequence. So there has to be heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and heading 4. Topics, subtopics, right? Whatever you are discussing in that is called as a heading tag, or it is also called as H tag. Now in this case, all the tags are mentioned here. When you click on causes, you see this primary heart hypertension, secondary hypertension. There are different types, so they have classified that. So this one will be heading 1, this will be heading 2, and heading 3, for example. Okay? Again, if you see this, these are different type of things. And again, this is heading 1, and this can be heading 2, heading 2, heading 2, and heading 2. All of these are heading 2s, right? So when you put those heading tags or H tags, it makes more interesting. For easy navigation, when you are just looking at the headings and bullet points and subheadings, it makes the content more interesting, right? And it becomes easier for you to click and navigate the entire page. So we understood about what? We understood about the on-page SEO. Then there is something called as internal linking. I showed you on that page, right? So one of the hyperlink is connected to another page within the same website. This is called as internal linking. When you click on that link, it takes you to another page of the same website. Because you don't want the user to go to another link or website. You want the users to stay back on the same site, not to another one, right? So internal linking helps the users to stay on the same website for a longer time, right? That is about on-page SEO. You can also improve the quality of content by adding images and videos and describing those images and videos. Why? Because unless you describe, the videos and images will not be searched on the websites, on search engines, right? Then you have what? Off-page SEO. What is off-page SEO? Off-page SEO is the results that are coming from other websites. On-page is within the website, off-page is other websites. So, for example, mentioning your website on other websites, other social media platforms, podcasts, getting more reviews. All of this is part of offline strategy, right? Then you have something called as local SEO. Local is what? On Google Maps, for example, you are optimizing your page on the company's page or your personal page on local SEO on Google Maps. Somebody is searching, they can easily connect with you and reach out to you, right? Then you have what? Technical SEO. So what is technical SEO? Technical SEO is all about how fast the site loads, right? Whether the website is structured or not, whether there is a site map on the website or not. What is a site map? Let me explain all of this. Come back here. When you come to, let's say, my updated website, okay. Now, how fast the website loads? Okay, this is one factor. Number two factor is how all these websites are content is organized. So if you see this, anything I want to search on this website will automatically A. If I click, quickly loads. Right? So loading time and the way the website is organized. Right? And apart from that, if you come a little bit down here, straight down in front of the page, you see all of this. So they have given the complete detail of chronological analysis of the website. This is what is the site map. The entire map of the website is available for our easy. So this is also part of
না না আসলে এখানেও তো কমেন্ট
we as medical writers should not be following on this. This is done by the person who is developing a website. But for us as medical writers, our focus is on page basis. And that is where follow is not easy to see. But if you are aware of all these things, then you can also help the developer of the website. But help your website, make your site more interesting, easy, right? If you are searching for a website, if you come to that website, and the website takes like forever to do, do you like to come back to the same website again? Yes, no, chat box. No, right? So the speed is
মিলিয়ে 75 দিয়েছে
the way it is organized is also important. The site contents are not organized. Okay. So these are
কার উঠেনি
suppose there are more than
কার
12 comes to SEO. A lot of this practice is bad practice comes to SEO. But then we understand how this some of the
আজকে ওখানে দিনই
but this should be
ওই 20-25 মিনিট দিয়েছে আরো 1 ঘন্টা লিব না কারণ
utilized. So all the search content
অত টাইম ধরে উঠবে
utilize all this
কাজের
very time for
আসছে আমাদের বন্ধু আমি যে আসবে এই এখন বেরোলাম
some of you might be
অল্প অল্প করে বেরোবো আর সবার সঙ্গে মিষ্টিকে দিলাম মিষ্টি যাকে দিলাম মামুনিকে
by default advanced concept based on the content based on the
মুখো করে মিষ্টি আর মামনি ওরা লাইভ কম
the way it is written. So Google has released this principle.
ওরা ঢুকেছিলাম আমি যে বুঝে ঘুমাই আমি যে ঘুমাইলি বা তুমি কমেন্ট করে চলে যাবে তুমি কি এই কি আমি বিয়ে বাড়ি খেতে আসবে নাকি তুমি কমেন্ট করবে চলে যাবে তুমি না থাকলে আমি কেউ কমেন্ট করে আসি
Authoritativeness and trustworthiness.
10টা কমেন্ট করলে তোমার 75 উঠে যাবে
Links on the site and then you use the site and spends time. So
আর একটা লাইক তো পারবে
content based on the experience of what the writer,
কার্ড আছে এই বলে লাইভ করে
what is the expertise of the writer, what is the content.
এমনি দিয়েছে কোম্পানি
Of the writer who has written that content. And what is the
প্রথমে এসে বলে লাইক কর
writer who has written that content. Unfortunately, in medical writing, most of the medical writers work as a ghostwriter. What is a ghostwriter? Who writes content.
কমেন্টেরও হিসাব হচ্ছে
Somebody,
কিছু তো একটা ব্যাপার আছে
how you can know this? Most of you know this, right? So if I write a content for a pharma company is not able to display my name on their website. So they'll show that the pharma company has listed the content, right? So who can keep to know all this malpractice or bad practice? So what they said, okay, fine. If you are asking somebody to write the content, display their credentials, qualifications, their photo, their details. If you display that, then I will consider your content as good content. Otherwise, I will not going to display your content as a good content. Okay? And that is the reason why when you search for any content, Google's works. Whenever you search for any content, first 20 pages of it will not show content of top certified pharma companies, so therefore companies which make a lot of money. Why? Because they don't give credit to customers. So this is another way how people is trying to promote the original creators of the content. And the credibility comes from what your experience, your expertise, your qualification, and your depth of knowledge in a particular subject. So if I'm a pharmacist, if I'm writing a content related to pharmacy and my website displays my credentials and everything, Google knows that he's a pharmacist, so he knows what he's talking about. But let's say if I'm talking about ophthalmology or diabetes or any other topic, and if I'm putting all the references in a very credible format, all the authentic references, then Google then also knows that he's a pharmacist. But he is quoting all the references, so that content is also credible. You understand that? So EAT principle, it doesn't just mean that you should have to be qualified only in the area of your writing. Absolutely not. But it is always good for you to write content where your expertise is. Now let's say if you're writing something else where your expertise is not coming, then you have to quote everything, cite everything, right? This is a very important principle, and unfortunately, the vast majority of critical writers do not do this principle, right? Quality content. If you're a nurse, focus on content that related to your experience in nursing, your expertise in nursing, your authority in nursing, your trustworthiness in nursing. But you can also write content in other areas, other therapy areas, if you are quoting the content. Is this clear? You don't need it. Yes, any doubts like taking the chat box and updating it. Alright? So this is a very, very important principle. Okay? This has to be followed. So whatever is your qualification, please focus on writing content, respect that qualification first.
কমেন্ট করে দিয়েছি, ওখানে যাওয়ার দরকার দিয়ে এসছি। আমি করে দিই, দুবার করে করিস।
Show the trustworthiness of content. You have to write accurate, honest, safe, reliable content with the help of different sources that we are using for writing about content. Okay? So this is what is creating this content. And it is very important principle that has to be followed by every single writer with this writing. Alright? Now, how do you apply SEO in critical writing? Okay? So some of you might be thinking, okay, fine, all of this is fine, but how do I apply all of this principles in my writing own content, right? So number one, please remember your expertise, qualification, highest qualification, your knowledge level, your credibility, always keep it there, right? Whenever you write content, this has to be a plus whatever you are writing. And your content has to have very high accuracy that whatever you are writing, make sure that you are writing content which is of high accuracy and because we as healthcare writers or medical writers, whenever we write and if the content is not medically correct, it is not complete, then what happens? It can change the prescribing behavior of doctors. It can also change the way that patients make medications based on accuracy of this. And then we can play
কমেন্ট করো, কমেন্ট করো।
So whatever we are quoting, whatever we are writing, please ensure that we are aware of the ChatGPT case where it suggested a wrong salt.
ঢুকতে পারছে না হয়তো।
That salt, and he was hospitalized. Only if you are aware of that case, then be in the chat box. So some of you are aware. So those of you who are not aware, search for that case. So credibility, where is this content coming from? Right? Who's that person who's creating this content? Whatever you are putting, let's say you say that you must take price of, let's say salt and water, before you sleep in the night. There has to be some evidence based on it. If you are not doing that, then the person takes the responsibility or responsibility of writing that content.
देखिए तो लाइव हो
The patient address number is right. And since we are all putting content online, it is important to note that even if it is deleted from the
হাত দিয়ে দাও, চলো একবারে 10টায় বন্ধ করো। এটাও হয়ে গেছে।
So it is important to ensure that our quality is of time.
দুপুরে একটু দেরি করে হয়েছিল কেন মানে চালিয়ে আবার টাইম লাগলো, মোবাইল গেলাম।
আমি তো ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছি।
তোমারটা দেখে আবার কমেন্ট করে দিয়ে তারপরে যে টান দিল।
As in 5 years back, because of the development, the information should not have changed in the last 5 years. Then it is alright. The next part is regulations.
দিয়ে দাও বাবা,
What
খেয়ে লিখবে।
right? What not?
I'm not going to have it.
We should be writing.
হুম,
We must be adhered to the
খেয়ে লিখবে।
দাদা একটু বসো তো দাদা, 9:15
কাজটা
দিকে
শেষ হোক, যা তুমি একটু
So India,
9:15 দিকে করো না।
other countries like USA, for example, there are different
আপেল খাও তো, দুটো আপেল খাও।
না না আমি
guidelines
খাই না।
for since such website, you'll find that they say the word fair balance of risk and benefit. You have to mention that, right? In India, for example, the National Medical Commission, the NMC, there it was called the Council of India, they keep having different guidelines. For example, doctors cannot advertise themselves. Doctors cannot eat substandard claims. Doctor cannot speak claims without such things like zero tolerance. If you're a dentist, right, you want to get specific to dentistry and follow the regulations and things like that. Right? There are policies to follow the regulations and things like that. The policy, for example, right? And follow content, read content, policy, right? Next very important part is patient and language. Whenever we write content,
এইখানে
we are not sure.
ওখানে বুঝি দাম কি হচ্ছে ওইটা পাচ্ছি না, এইখানে কাল ওখানে
We also need to ensure that whatever we write has to be in a very simple language. Even if a doctor reads it, the person should be able to understand. Even if a pharmacist or a patient reads, they should be able to understand. I gave the example of hypertension, right? And how all the search results differ when we go there to the different keywords, right? So similarly, whenever you are writing content, make sure that you are using the right kind of keywords. Try to keep the sentences short. If it is a very lengthy sentence, then it becomes difficult for the users of the previous ones, right? And then most importantly, always cite the trustworthy sites or the sources from wherever you are taking your content. Because when you don't cite, then what happens? It becomes very challenging for the users to trust the writer. Now, another thing for all of you then, so one of your things
এই যে দিয়ে দাও তো না না তো
whenever you are writing content, you should also include the name of the other professional for a doctor. Okay,
ওরা যাবে দিয়ে দিত।
so for example,
আগে তোমার এগুলো রাখা
I can include the
ভিডিও
name, I can take the help of the physician people, let's say,
আমি ওখানে ব্যাগ পাই দিতে পারি
and this is the
তবে
short
আর
version of one part of the doctor. She is a doctor, right? We can also take the help of the person, she is also a doctor, right? Whenever I quote such doctors, and I ensure that the information is mentioned on the blog or the website, means that I'm taking that extra effort.
বেলুন নিয়ে দিতে হতো।
I'm connected with this person, taking this book and then another very important thing is content contents. You might have seen blogs in India website hospitals quote the data from previous hospitals or have you seen that? You can find it, you've seen that.
খেলাম তো থাকবে না, তো কেউ ছেড়ে দিয়েছে ওখানে।
আমরা ওষুধ দেখতাম প্রসাদ কিনে দিতাম ওদিকে একটা সার্টিফিকেট নিয়ে না আছে অত প্রচার নেই বুঝছো, যেটা ওই যেখানে হয় অটো দেখতাম যেটা মাঝে বাড়ি ওখান থেকে সার্টিফিকারই হবে
Now, how do you do keyword research? This was about how SEO
বুঝছো আছে কিন্তু অত প্রচার নয় ওটা প্রচার হয়
let's try to understand a little bit about how the keyword research was done.
তুমি কি করে জানলে যে প্রচার নেই?
Content.
তাহলে 3টা ক্লাব ইন্ডিয়ানসে
লাইক কিরকম হবে বলতো
What will the
ওই বিক্রি করে দেবে প্রচার
what will the reader who will research like that information. Wherever you think like a patient,
ওই পার্টে আছে এই পার্টে
and in that context,
যেখানে পড়ছে এখানে নেই
writing, right? So this is what the patient is going to think. So I must include these kind of keywords in my writing. Whenever I think like a patient, my writing becomes easier. My writing becomes easier for the patient. Okay? Then you have different tools where you can understand the trends, what is going on in the current context, right? So there are different tools, for example, you have Google keyword plan, then you have Google Trends, right? Well, if you heard of this, then you have something called as question list, right? That is which you can use for planning the keywords, right? Based on these, you can use your keyword research. Next is
এখানে
also
তো অনেক আছে জিসানি
whether your site is
আবার এই ভেসাবি
therefore
তারপরে ফুলদানি অনেকগুলোতে আছে
ও সব থেকে আগের আছে ইয়েতে ভিডিও অফিসের ওখানে।
তাহলে এখানে তো করতে হবে যত প্রচার হবে তত তো ভালো তাই না
classify your content. For example, let's say what is hypertension? That means all of those searches that are related to only hypertension. It's not to understand what is hypertension comes in. But then, if you connect, for example, Mayo Clinic's page, right, providing information, then it gives us and also it shows navigation for the patient at the page, right? Then you can also suggest that the instrument by instrument for measuring navigation. Then it becomes a commercial entry, right? If you want, for example, book a cardiologist, then it becomes a transactional kind of entry. Because if you don't know what kind of users
পিএইচ ছিল হ্যাঁ
so you can
পিএইচ
provide different intents, different
পিএইচ
contexts.
স্কিল সারা
It's easier for the user to connect.
সোশ্যাল আসেনি তো কার কাছে সংসার
You
পেলাম
can just provide information. The information is
একটাও দিয়ে রাখি
users. But let's say if I connect the user and provide all this information, A using
এটা পিএইচ কুচাও তাহলে
site, and the user stays on the website and spends some
আইতে তাড়াতাড়ি মনে মনে রাখবো
So he does all the
না
things,
রাখতে কোনো প্রবলেম
as Azhar said, you can write in the same version. You have a lot of other tools. You have this keyword planner.
এই তরকারি তো খেতে হবে
What is Google suggest? Like, I am not so what Google suggest will be. I just simply show you what the next step. Okay, so there is this tool called Google suggest. It's a tool for Google. With this, you can do a lot of such. Who knows A but A? Let me know. You know this guy. And he has developed this tool. And when you go here and search, for example, let's say, and select the country, which country you are going to target. Okay, so let's say, let's search India. English India, and then search for hypertension. I should start searching that you want users as well, but let's say this range search hypertension.
এখন বুলু ছাড়া ঢুকতে পারছি না বুলু নাম কি?
So you give some searches.
কিন্তু ইয়ে তো বুলু কাউকে দেয় রত্না
রত্না
ওই যে বেশি সাপোর্ট আইডি বেশি যায়
যেমন একটা মনে হয়েছে
Yes. ওর সাপোর্ট করে
আর ভিডিওগুলো দেখলাম ভালো ভিডিওগুলো দেখলাম ওই বাংলাদেশের রিপোর্টার ও
আস্তে আস্তে আমার কটা জামাগুলো নিয়ে একটা জামা নিয়ে আসতে হবে একটু ভালো দেখে একটু সুন্দর করে সাজা বুঝে নিয়ে আসতে হবে একই জামাতে ভিডিও আছে না আমার 10টা করে ভিডিও দিই
So if you are not very sure of whether this information is needed or not, always mention the deal what which you have
গাদা যাবে
Always mention the site where you are accelerating, which date. Okay, this is very important. The next thing is, if you get a latest update, again is after 1 month, try to update that information on the site or the blog. This helps the user to trust you more because they know that you have been updating the site on a regular basis. That means it can help
যাও, তুমি ওটা এইটাই চালাও।
that your site and start ranking them on the different search platforms. Okay. The second one is always try to monitor what people are searching at this point of time and how I can improve the quality of the content. So updation has to be possible. Even if you write a cooking article, for example, there's a way you can keep updating the article. And you can mention their timeline, revisions, or the dates of reference. And you can keep mentioning the latest date when the article was revised. The next important thing is follow the ethical guidelines, right? Because you know all these different publication guidelines and ethical guidelines, right? And if you're not very sure, please use disclaimers. For example, let's say you say that although lemon and honey can be useful for weight loss, right? You should always consult your doctor before making such treatments, right? When you put that, you are actually telling the user that though I have done based on my research, though I have done this research, but with respect to your health, it is always good to visit your specific doctor, right? This is what it is. Apart from that, it is always trying to put the mention with case studies, right? What you found, you know, and what kind of information helps patients based on that. If you are writing a case study for this, for Indian, or if you are writing your audience exclusively Indian patients, and try to put cases or information related
আর ইয়াসে নিয়ে আজকে যাবো না।
the website of some of the hospitals.
দেখা যায় দশটা থেকে চলে যায়,
Patients who
দশটা পার হয়ে যেত।
and other payments. Have you seen this knowledge?
ও লাইভ করছে আর এখন। ও লাইভ করছে এখন।
For the patient itself, right? They feel, yeah, this is going to be really important for their also.
মিলিকে তো সবের লাইভ করে দিচ্ছে।
Focus on the information. Because looking for patient demand and more and more. And cooking also tries to show the content which is relevant to me at my pace, near my pace. Always Google tracks the location type. And based on the location, you can customize the content search content, right? Search depends on it. So whenever Google does that, always let the content related to my areas location, right? And imagine if I take the content as details from other countries, then you can bring it up to this idea plus Google, right? Next very important point is whenever you are writing, take an expert search. In one of my previous batches, a pharmacologist and a physiotherapist shared the content, and she took the support of
কমেন্ট করো তো আমি
she took the advice suggestions from them. So when you do that, the quality of your content definitely
ভুক লাগে খেয়ে নাও।
starting that disclaimer, then this
ভাত
content
দেবো?
was written by
ওকে শুরু করে দাও না।
তো ভাত দিয়ে দি খেয়ে নাও। বেড শুয়ে শুয়ে করতে হবে।
ও চলুক না, আমাদের তো নিজের কেন সব তো দুপুরে এসছে না। সব একই সঙ্গে কাজ হয়, স্যাঁতরাম করে কাজ হচ্ছে। লেবারের জন্য কাজটা এই পর্যন্ত চলে এলো, না সবাই শেষ হয়ে যেত। কয়দিন তো লেবারের জন্য নিজে মশলা মাখে কাজ করে এলো, নাহলে কাজগুলো থাকতো। একজন মিস্ত্রি, একজন লেবার। ওর মুন্নাতি তো বেশি ফাঁসিয়ে গেল। যাও, ওরা তো আসেনি ঠিক আছে, লেবার আসেনি, লেবার নিয়ে আসেনি, মিস্ত্রি আনেনি। আজকে এর সঙ্গে দেখা হলো, আমি বলছি যে এই তো ব্যাপার। ওই একটা মিস্ত্রি কাজ করতো না, ডাকলো আমাকে কলবাজারে, বসেছিল যার দোকানে, কাজ করবে বললো যে শরীরটা একটু খারাপ আছে। তাহলে আমি আবার নাম্বারটা দিয়ে দিলাম আমার নতুন করে। দাঁড়ান না, ইন্দ্রভূষণের কাজ টাকা দিয়ে তো কিছুতে মানুষ ঘর করছে, ওগুলো চলে যাক না, তারপর দেখবে। আমাদের কাজ আল্লাহ দেবে, চলতে থাকবে নাকি। বন্ধ হতে চলেছে। ভাত দিচ্ছ কেন? ভাত দিয়ে বেশি বলছে, ভাত কম খায়। বলছে রান্না করে কেড়ে, বলছে আমি তো কলা খাই না। ভাত বেশি দিয়ে দেবো ভাত কম।
তরকারি বেশি খাওয়া।
চালটা কম দেবো তাহলে ভাত কম হইল বুঝলে তাহলে খাওয়াটা কমাতে হবে আমি কমে দেবো
খাবো না
বাইরে ফেলে দিয়ে দেবো
না না খাই
তো তুমি চালটা কেন দিচ্ছ হালকা চালটা কমা তবে তো ভাত কমবে খেয়াল থাকবে পাগলের মতো করতো সকালে তো আবার রান্না করছো তোমাকে এখন কে কুটুম আসবে একবারে তোমার কুটুমের জন্য রাখতে হবে না থাকবে না একই তো মানুষ বাড়ছে
ভাত খাইয়ে হয়ে যাবে
আরে তো ভাত খেতে কম বলছো তাহলে কম ক্যান্ডিডেট তো হয়ে গেল ওর ভাত কি থাকে তো দিয়ে দাও তো চিন্তা কর
আমার প্রতিদিন চারা লাগছে ভালো লাগে আবার সর্ষে দিয়ে রান্না করে সর্ষে দিয়ে আবার ফুল দিয়ে রান্না
বন্ধুগণ বেশ হলো
টক দিয়ে
আমি আনিনি
তেঁতুলের টক দিয়ে করেছিল টক
এমনি সময় ঘুমটা ভালো
পালাবে না और ग्रिल ले আসছে বেগুনে গ্রিল দিয়েছে
চাংলা লাগা
गेट गेट
বেটু হ্যাক করে দিন
বসিয়ে দিবে ওদের ফোন করে টাকা দেয় আমি যে কাজ তো ওইটুকুনি তোর বগিলে সব জিনিস আমি আবার উল্টো করে আবার বসাতে যাবো এই বাইরের গেট ওই জানলা ওগুলো সব ইয়ে করেছে জানলা তো ওগুলো বসতে বলছে গেটটা তো লাগবে দুটো গেট যেটা ছিল ওটাকে ঠিক করে এসছে আমি ভাবছি এনেছে না তোকে বলতাম সকাল দিয়ে ফোন করে আমি ফোন ধরি এটা যদি পড়া করবো কাজ হয়ে যদি আমার যাবো না যেগুলো ওই পরিস্থিতি আমি করবো কাজ হয়ে গেলে একটু করবো হ্যালো
কিসে পড়া ভুল করেছে কারণ
Oh, yeah.
দিও না আমরা কথা আমরা তেল ঢালে করব তো তোমার বাবা কত ধরে যাবে যেটা হবে যেটা হবে ওখানে যাও জলদি যাও নিয়ে যাও আব্বাকে নিয়ে যেতে হবে কি বুঝতে চাই করে যাও
সোমবারে আগে এখানে আরেকবার চেক আপ করে নেবো
শরীর খারাপ হয়ে
আমি বলতে তাই না আমার খারাপ বলছিলাম বলি তো ডাক্তার গাড়ি চেক আপ করে নাকি
তোমার এটা প্রথম হয়েছে বুঝেছো হজরতের পড়বে এটা হয়ে 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 উঠতে জানি মানে বুঝিয়ে দিলে চলে যাবে তাই তো
ফুল করে গিয়েছে ঠিক আছে ভালো হতে পারে বেশি শরীর খারাপ হলে বেশি থাকা ভালো না
এখন ওরা তো প্রচন্ড ঝাঁকে
বেশি আবার এখন এমন জায়গা আছে এখন মেইনটেইন করলে সব ঠিক হয়ে যাবে বুঝলে তো
আমি গেছিলাম না মসজিদে মাথা
খাওয়া দাওয়া আর তোমাদের তো হচ্ছে
আমি যেরকম চলছিলাম আমার কেউ বলবে যে শরীর খারাপ নাকি হ্যাঁ
তোমাকে মেইনটেইন করতে হবে
আরে মেইনটেইন করি বলি তো ওরকম আছে নাহলে বেশি হয়ে যেত
বসলে হবে না তোমাকে শুনতে হবে
ভাই শুধু হবে না আরে হয়ে যেতে হবে কাজ করা মানুষ চুপ করে বসতে হবে
কি
না কাজ করা মানুষ চুপ করে শুয়ে বললে আরো খারাপ মোটা হয়ে যাবে বসে পড়ে একটু বসতে হবে 10-15 মিনিট বসতে হবে তারপরে ঘুমাতে যেতে হবে
ওটার জন্য নয় এইটা আমার হয়েছে ওই ওই যে কম পানি খাওয়ার জন্য
পানি খাওয়ার জন্য ওই মাছ মাংসের মধ্যেও আছে
তেল মশলার ব্যাপার
আজকে দেখলাম 2-3 টাকাতে পোলট্রি মাংস খেয়ে
এই বুঝতে পারলাম না। ইংলিশে বড় করছে না মন আর কয়েকদিনের মধ্যে দিদি তো বড় করে দিচ্ছে বুঝে খাও খেতে পারেন না কিন্তু কাটলে যা বিক্রি দিতেই হবে না আরো বাড়বে তাহলে আরো যন্ত্রণা হবে তো চাপ পড়বে না লিভারের উপরে ঝাল মশলা খাওয়া যাবে না হাড়ে ধরে করতে হবে
আমি এমনি এখন মাংস খাবোই না মাছ
মাছতে যায় না মাছও যাওয়া যায় অন্য জায়গায় প্রোটিন খাও ডাল খাও ওইগুলো খাও
ডালটাই খাবো
আলু প্রোটিন দিয়ে খাওয়া ছাতু খাও
আরে যা ফলা খাবো সেদিনকে মনে এইখানে দিয়ে যে আমার আন্ত হলো মাছ মুখ ব্যাগকে ছিঁড়ে ছেড়ে মনে হচ্ছে যাচ্ছে মানে মাংসটা নিয়ে এসে আর্ধেক মাংস কি এখানে পড়ে গেছে মানে মন উঠে না ওগুলো আর আনতেই যাবে ওই তো
সেদিনকে কিনে লেগে বলতো তুমি এরকম বসে এসছো আর আমি
আরে তোমাদের ও এক পিস করে খেলে শরীরটা ভালো লাগবে
হয় নাকি না হাইলে ভাত তো দিতে পিস খেলে তাহলে আমি কি খাবো আর কি রান্না করবো
ওই জন্য তো আমার গেলাম তোমরা বেশি করে খাও
তো হয়েছিল তো এই টেনশন হয়ে গেল তো ছেলেটা ভালোবাসে খাবে না
সবারই প্রবলেম হবে সবারই ভুল হচ্ছে সবাইকে মেনটেন করতে হবে শুধু আমার নয়
তোমাকে এখন তাড়াতাড়ি করতে হবে সবার থেকে বেশি
তোমরা এখন টেস্ট করে দিলে তোমার এখন আছে আমাদের তো নাই এখন টেস্ট করাইনি না আমরা কি করব?
আমি নিজে গেছি আমি নিজে সামলাবো আমার কি থেকে হচ্ছে আমি বুঝতে পারছি না। আমার বডি আমি জানতে পারছি না তবে তো আমি ডাক্তারখানা গেছি তোমায় বলেছো যে যা ডাক্তারখানা না আমি বলি
তুমি যদি অন্তর নাম বলে কি করে বলবে তোমাকে
দেখো
ধরে রাখবে
তোমার ব্যায়াম হবে আমি দেখবো ভালো করে বসে
কেউ তো বুঝতে পারবে না অন্য থেকে বাইরে
কেউ বুঝবে না।
বলে তুমি বলতে পারবে তুমি না বললে
ডাক্তারের মধ্যে তোমার কি হয়েছে
বললে না বলে তোমাকে কেউ জানবে না
তুমি কি যে বলতে হবে যে চলো তো তোমাকে ডাক্তার দেখো
আরে জ্বর জ্বালা হলে নিয়ে যান মানে এই হয়ে যায় কিন্তু এইসব প্রবলেম না বোঝা যাবে না
যে ভাত খাওয়ার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে পানি খাওয়া যাবে যদি 40 মিনিট পরে
যাওয়ার পরে পানি
চলে
খাবে।
যায়। ওরকম ডাইরেক্ট খায় না আমি বলেছি গেলে তার অবস্থা এখানে একটু পরে পানি খাবে তো তার আগে ট্রেন ধরবে না বাস ধরবে একটা গেলাস দেবে গেলাস বাঁধা গেলে তো এমনিতে ভালো ভালো ডাক্তাররা ইয়ে বলে আমাদের যে অল্পসে যে ওই স্যারেরা রাখছে না ইলেকট্রিক বোতলে তো পানি খাওয়া হয় মানে মারো গেলাসে পানি
সব ভদ্র তো দেখ আমাদের এখন তো গেলাস না করতে পারে
তো খাও হোক না খাতে না গেলে খালি বই সামনে গেলে হবে
বলার কথা বলতে হয় ভক্তিটা খায় বসে গেছে
বোতল থাকলে কিন্তু গেলে
বয়স তো আমরা আগ্রহ যেটা দেখতে
আপনি বলেন না পানি দেন
এখন বসো একটা বোতল হাতে করে নিয়ে বসো যে 10-15 মিনিট পরে পানি দিতে হবে
ব্যাগে একটা বোতলে রাখবেন
কে আমি হ্যাঁ আমি সবসময় পানি লেগে দোকানে আমার পানির না ইয়ে হলো না। আমার একটু জাল ই করলেই পেটটা জ্বললেই আমি পানি খাই, সবসময় পানি থাকে দোকানে। এই তো লাইভ চালাতে বসি, পাশেই বোতল থাকে। আমি রাইসেলের কথা বলছি। কত কত না মেরে এই এখন কানে হেডফোন দিয়ে শুয়ে পড়ছে, ওতে আরো শরীরে ক্ষতি করবে। রিঙ্কির আর কয় বস্তা সিমেন্ট লাগবে? আমি আর 5 বস্তা বলেছি, 5টা বলছে আছে। পাঁচটা আছে তো। আর বালি 15 বস্তা। এখন ভ্যানে করে আনতে বলেছি, ভ্যানে করে। তাও সেই রবিবারে আনতে হচ্ছে। আমি সকালে যাবো, আবার দেখবো তারপর। কালকে তো ওই ক্ষীরকুন্ডি যেতে হবে। রিঙ্কিকে বলেছি কালকে কাজ হয়। হ্যাঁ বলে দিস, ফোন করেছিলাম যে কতটা ইয়ে হয়েছে, কত কি সিমেন্ট ফিমেন্ট আছে। আমি বলে দিয়েছি, যন্ত্র নিয়ে চলে যাবো ওখান দিয়ে, বলে দিয়েছি। কেন এখানে যে পাঠাতাম, কিন্তু লেবারের ব্যাপার আছে, মানে সমরকে ইট তুলতে পাঠাবো, নাহলে দুদিন আগে দুদিকে দিয়ে দিতাম। আর ওকে বলে দেবে যে এইখান থেকে লেবার দেখো, মাটি করে দাও, আমাদের লেবার নেই, তোমরা তো কাজের টাকা দিচ্ছ, আমরা মাটি ফেলে তো আমাদের লোক নেই। ঠিক আছে, বলে দেবে পরিষ্কার করে। কেন এর তো আর ফোন নাম্বার নেই। আর ওকে অত কিছু বলবো না, ও বুড়িটাকে বলবো, বলো লোক পাই না, তাহলে আমরা কি করে পাই। বলে দেবে যে এখানে লোক দেখে মাটি ফেলাও। কিন্তু না, ও বলে দেবে আমি নিইনি তো দায়িত্ব তো। আর বলবেন যে টাকাটা দিচ্ছ, তাহলে মাটিটা ফেলো, আর গেটটা হয়নি, তাড়াতাড়ি করলে হবে। হ্যাঁ কালকে যে সব বলে দেবে। দাদা ভাই তুমি খুঁজছো আমাকে, খাচ্ছ আমাকে দিল না। ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ খাচ্ছিলাম মিলি। তোমার খাওয়া হয়েছে? না আমি খাইনি। ও আচ্ছা, খেয়ে নাও। হাতের সামনে এখানে রাখো, এটা কিছুদিন হাঁকাবে। নটায় শেষ হয়ে যায়। মিনিটে 150 হয়ে গেল।
ও যদি ঘর ড্রেস মধ্যে থাকেও নি 5 মিনিটের মধ্যে যদি অত টাইম 1 ঘন্টা টাইম দেওয়ার কি দরকার?
অন্য জায়গায় যাচ্ছি কিন্তু কমেন্ট শো হচ্ছে না। এই যারা যারা বলু দিয়ে রয়েছে তাদের এই কাছে ঘুরছে। আর এখনো কিছু কিছু আছে মনে হচ্ছে বুলু দিলে অনেক কিছু হয়েছে। বুলু নিয়ে যে কী করবো ভাই, যে খা। যাদের চ্যানেল আছে তাদের বুলু দিলে কি ক্ষতি আছে? যাদের চ্যানেল নেই ওকে দেওয়ার দরকার নেই।
লোকটা বললো
ক্ষতি থাকলে তো ইউটিউবই দিত না। কিছু খারাপ বুঝেছে ইউটিউব।
পার্টি ছিল।
225 হবে, টেনে মারো। ওই জন্য তো সকালে ধরলাম, কেন বলো তো? সকালে যেটুকুন হওয়ার হচ্ছে ভালোই হচ্ছে সকালে, বুঝলে তো? সেকেন্ড হ্যান্ড মোবাইল দামি 4300, 4200, 5300। দেখলাম সেটগুলো ভালো ভালো আছে। না আজকের ইয়েটা ওয়াচ টাইম যদি পূর্ণ হয়ে যায়, এর ওই বন্ধুটা আমি বাড়ি দেবো, তো অ্যাপ্লাই যেন করতে পারি। ও তো ইয়ে কি করে করছে, ওই অল্প অল্প। আর সেটা এখন হাতি মারা যাবে না, কেন বন্দি করে কাজটা তুলতে হবে, সবারই শেষ হবে তারপরে লজে। তার দুদিন যদি 2-2.5 দিনের কাজ, গাঁথা কাজ শেষ। এখন তো সেন্টারিং মারবে, ওই লেগে ধরেছি নু খারাপ। প্লাস্টার আবার আলাদা রেট। তুমি ই করে দাও, 225 করে দাও, এটাই হয়ে গেছে। হয়ে যাবে কি?
হয়ে গেছে তো কিছু বলছিস বুঝলো
হুম
বুঝতে পেরেছিস হয়ে গেছে 5টা 10টা বন্ধ করে দে। বন্ধ করে দে, কেউ আসবে না আসলে চলে আসবে
না এখন আর আসবেন কেন আমি 7টায় আরম্ভ করি না সেটা তো হয়নি
আচ্ছা
হুম